from everybody, 1 to 15. Physically, I'm feeling tired, honestly, but not as much as you would expect, honestly. It's probably the adrenaline. It's going to come down a little bit. I'm probably going to sleep pretty well tonight.
Victor, I heard you tell the TV broadcast that it felt at times like you weren't thinking during that late part of the game. Can you kind of expand on that, your mentality, and also the pull-up three-pointer that you hit with 30 seconds left? What were you thinking for that one?
For that one, I was just thinking, take my time. But for the rest, there are some plays I wish I were thinking more. Like I think it was the regulation last shot. I had an open look, on a way smaller defender, so I should have just taken it. But it's an experience we learn,
Mitch was saying that it's a pretty natural response for a competitor to see another competitor get something that he wants, whether it's the MVP trophy or whatever it might be. Just curious if that was in your mind at all, knowing that Shea had got that award and you were in the top 3 for it, and, did any part of tonight feel personal? Some of your facial expressions kind of look like you were really, really going for it.
Yeah, for sure. Everything you just said.
What does it feel like to see someone else get the MVP trophy right before you step into, I guess, what is basically the biggest game of your career, and then to have the best performance of your career?
Feels like I still got a lot to learn. And I want to get that trophy, many times in my career.
We talked a lot about winning an MVP and what goes behind it, whether it's political, things of that nature. Do you feel like, especially after this game, that you're the best player in basketball?
Do I feel like it right now? I feel tired. But it's not a question I'm wondering right now. We'll see, The world is 8 billion people, so it's 8 billion opinions.
Victor, tonight almost felt a little bit symbolic, the MVP ceremony for SGA before the game, and then you have a big response tonight with your performance. If your performance tonight had a message behind it, what would that message be?
The message would be that we as a team are ready to go in any environment, in any place, against anybody. And even though we still got a lot to learn, our effort should be over anybody else's, and tonight we were relentless.
Victor, a lot of guys took turns on SGA. What did you think of the play of the guys, perimeter guys on him?
No, they were great. They're great. It's a team thing. Everybody was very connected today. We need to keep being connected, and I don't know how probably not gonna practice tomorrow. But we're definitely going to meet and talk about it and anticipate for next games. There's going to be adjustments on both sides.
Vic, you've said a couple of times now that you're tired, which makes a lot of sense. I imagine there's a mental toll during a game like that as well. Can you just explain what that game was like to be a part of, with the amount of hits you took and to continue to keep going?
It's something, the relentlessness is built as well. First of all, the first thing is physical ability, getting stronger as the years go on, and the mental toughness. You have to have it all the time. And as you said, yes, it takes a toll, but we will rest in July.
You talk about the relentlessness, the physicality you had to play with tonight. When you have such an emotional and physically taxing game like this one, how important is it for y'all to be able to close it out there in the second overtime?
It's everything. It's everything, and I feel like it takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of you need experience as well. But tonight, a game like tonight is the best way to get experience. We played 5 quarters, so we're learning, and by the time we get the experience, we'll compensate with our effort.
Victor, I asked Mitch, I'd love to hear it from you as well. Even though we didn't see De'Aaron tonight, can you talk about his veteran voice and how much it helped carry you guys to this win?
It matters a lot, Obviously, you said talking, and he sees a lot as a point guard, and his guidance with the young guys is just great. And I knew they were gonna have his back.
Vic, you've referenced many times, both in round one and round two, and even tonight, that this is a team that's still learning, that you're still learning. How do you marry the fact that for a group that's learning, and many of you haven't been on this stage before, you look extremely comfortable in this moment? Well, how learning tends to be awkward. You guys are not awkward with this.
Yeah. You know, it's we want to win everything, and we have the chance to have people above us in the organization that know how to do that. And so far, it looks like they've put the right people together to give us a chance. Because right now we got a chance. We still got a lot to do, a lot to learn, a lot of trials to go through that we don't even know of. But we have a chance, and that's because they've built the team like this.
Victor, on connaissait tous le talent de Dylan Harper en attaque. Est-ce que tu parlais un peu de son impact défensif? Est-ce que tu es encore surpris par ce qu'il est capable de faire? Est-ce que tu considères qu'il a aussi ce potentiel d'être une superstar, d'être un two-way en fait, joueur?
Bien sûr.
It's probably even shorter, and he's on that list. And it's just been very rewarding for someone that's tried to support him through this year and help him in terms of coaching him at times and giving him guidance, of just trusting us, because he was this good 8 months ago, but we wanted him to get some corporate knowledge and learn the program and the fundamentals of this league and how tough it was, and to get in better shape, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he watched a lot of guys in terms of his rookie class put up bigger numbers than him, and there's a lot of talk around that, and they deserve that because they had good years. But that young man is everything that everybody's seeing right now.
Coach,
We've asked
about the. Oh, sorry.
We've asked you several times about just you and the guys both about just watching Victor do Victor things, and whether it gets old, you know, if you still find yourself in awe. In regards to Dylan, do you find yourself, you know, standing there just impressed with the way he can get to the rim at will, and just all the things that he's done in the playoffs specifically?
Yes, I think that he has shown poise and composure beyond his years. When you talk about whether it's the age of Steph, Dylan, and Victor, and you can throw Carter in that mix, or the experience of the other guys that haven't been in these moments. And we've said it all year, and it doesn't, again, mean that it's always going to work out, but these guys are looking forward to the moments to step into, and it's just really fun to see how together they are and how they attack it.
Coach, not to like beat a dead horse about the moments, but specifically with Victor, there 30 seconds to go, and you guys are down 3, need a bucket. He hasn't taken many jump shots all game, but he steps into that moment and pulls from 30, 35 feet. I mean, what did you just see from him in that moment? And again, just what was your reaction to that kind of play?
They weren't organized, and we've had a few of these recently where we've gone without a timeout, and we've missed some really good shots. And it was just another one of those moments where I felt like we may have had, if it wasn't even an advantage, some momentum where they weren't bodies on bodies. And this league's about the players, and he's a really good one. He stepped up and answered the bell.
Mitch, Vic had laid out his case for MVP in the final weeks of the season. We all know that. As if being in the conference finals isn't inspiring enough probably for him, do you think it was worth a little extra seeing the trophy that he wanted be handed to someone else tonight? Do you think that?
100%. I mean, he's competitive. To see the other competitor get the trophy that he deserves, got voted the winner. But if you're a competitor and you see another competitor get rewarded with what you want, I don't think it had any effect on the game. That didn't make him play harder than anyone else. But if that's motivation, we all get motivated by different things. And yeah, I don't want to speak for him, but I would assume as a competitive person, that would be my approach or perspective in terms of answering that question.
And there were a couple of times tonight, Steph would have a turnover, something would go sideways, and Vic would be the guy putting the hand on the top of the head. And I know he's done that at times, but to be 22 and have all the world's eyeballs on him and be a leader of guys at that age. Is that maybe the underrated part of his game that we don't talk about enough? The fact that he's also picking guys up when they need it?
I think it's been a big part of his growth this year. I think that was one of the things at the start of the season that he was convicted about, in terms of there's no perfect time to be a leader. There's no perfect time where you walk into some of these roles or spaces that he wants to as a player and as a person in this league. And I think he has grown tremendously in that throughout the season and finding his voice and his moments in his own way.
Before the game, you mentioned the importance of De'Aaron Fox. Can you talk about, in a game like tonight, just his veteran voice alone and how it helps carry you guys to this win?
Yeah, he was great on the bench. He was continually giving guys direction and talking to the players that were in the game. And again, when you have someone who's used to playing with these guys and in the fight, to have that perspective is really helpful.
I feel like it was a great effort.